Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do what is called Jacob's ladder. So you're going to need two squares that are 5.5, mine are a little bit bigger. You're going to need it to be 5 by 5. I cut mine at 5.25 because that's the way it was one way. So instead of making two cuts, I just cut it that way. So you're going to need two squares of two different colors, fabrics, patterns, whatever of that. So we're going to make half square triangles with these. So we're just going to lay them face to face. And then you'll take your ruler. I've already drawn the lines, but you're going to take your ruler and you're going to lay your 1/4 inch line on the corners and draw your line down. And then you'll flip it around and you'll do the same thing for both of one color. That way you don't accidentally match up the wrong ones. So I'm going to pin those and I'll go sew them in a minute. And then you're going to need 2.5 inch strips of the same colors. And I sewed those together. Now I was using fat quarters, so I had 2 sets. And I already cut some, but what we're gonna do here is after you sew it together, you're gonna just line this up and you'll line up your middle line or one of your black lines on your middle line, your sew line. And you're just gonna cut 2.5 inch strips that way then. And you'll need 10 total, 10 sets of this because you're going to need 5 blocks. This will be our block. So then we're going to take this and sew it together. We're going to pin it here so your seams match up. Just like that, and we'll sew that down through there. I do need to cut one more. I didn't cut them all yet. I need to cut one more. So I'm going to go sew all of those. And I encourage you to do the same. Make sure when you line them up, your colors are opposite because it is going to make a 4 patch. And you'll want it to be opposite, otherwise it won't look right. So I'm going to pin that, and then I'm going to go sew all those seams, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we've done that. And now I'll show you these first. I already have 3 of these done because I wanted to make sure it was gonna look right together. These 2 fabrics, that is, which I like. You might not like it. And if you don't use them. But if you do, feel free to copy it. So that's your 4 patches, and you'll need 5 of those. And I'm going to lay that to the side. And then this, we're going to trim up. First, let me get that pin out. First, we are going to line up our 1/4 inch line right on that stitch, the stitch line, or you can line it up corner to corner. And you're just going to cut down through. And you will need all 4 of these. These are going to be half square triangles. And I will show you how to trim them down. I've shown you in many of my videos, but in case you haven't watched any of those, I'll show you again. And if you do know how, feel free to skip ahead. I won't be offended. I won't even know. Unless you tell me, and I still won't be offended. Alright, oh, messed that up completely. Alright, so we're gonna cut these down. And to do that, we will use, well, I'm gonna pause you. I need to find my square. I'll be right back. Alright, so I found it. I trimmed up the other 3, and I just want to show you one. So I had somebody comment that it would be easier to cut the top because I always have trouble with that corner. So they said if I leaned it a little bit to the right, I would be able to do that better right there, which is fabulous. Thank you so much, whoever you are. I don't remember the name. I do apologize. I should have looked at that before I wrote it down before I filmed this video, but I didn't. I apologize. But you're awesome. Thank you so much. And then there. All right. So I'm sorry. I didn't even tell you how to do that. So the first time I just lined it up as close to the edge as possible. I lined up the diagonal line. The second, when I flipped it, that time I lined up the diagonal line, and I want these to be 4.5-inch squares. So I lined up the 4.5-inch corner down here, and then these 4.5-inch lines there, which gave me 4.5-inch squares, which is exactly what these are, 4.5-inch squares. Well, these should be. Let's do that. Let's do 2 1/4 right there. And 2 1/4. Just want to trim off that. Oh, I should have done the top too, but I didn't. Well, there was none on the top, that's why I didn't. I don't always square these up because they don't always have a lot extra, but when it does come out like that, I want to square it up a little bit. So that's actually pretty good. I just want that extra off. So then we're going to lay these out into our block. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I heard one of my kids yelling. So we're going to lay it out into our block. So we can do this 2 ways. I could make the pink the ladder, and you would lay it out with all your pink ones going this way. All your pink ones going this way. And your triangles in the middle, your pink ones in the middle. Or we could flip it all around. And I think I want the blue as the ladder, really. So you make it where your blue ones are all going this way. Your pink ones are going the other way. That's right. I've done something wrong. What did I do wrong? These are, that's wrong, right there. The pink ones are all going that way. There we go. See? It's not a problem. You know what? If you forget how it goes, just work with it. Look back at pictures if you have to. I'm sure you'll get it. But I want mine to be the ladder blue because I want the background to kind of pop. So now we're just going to sew our rows together. Those two, and those two. And then I'll be right back. I've sewn all my blocks into rows. And I'm going to press them. I'll press the top and the bottom to the inside. And I'm going to press the middle to the outside. And I changed it around, you guys. Don't hate me. I wanted the... I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I wanted the pink as the ladder, so I switched them. Don't hate me. Or if you have to, you can hate me. If it makes you feel better. All right. So we're going to press that last one. And now you're going to want to make sure you lay it right. So your pink ones, your pink squares, or your points are going to be in the middle, so it goes down as a ladder. So now you're just going to sew your rows together. Pretty simple. I am going to do a video on this pin cushion. I promise. I'm working on it. It's adorable, isn't it? I was so excited when I made it, and my husband wasn't as excited as me. He's just like, yeah. I'm like, whatever. All right, so we're gonna fold that over. And again, make sure your pinks are pointing, or whatever your color you're using. And you're gonna line that up. And then you're going to line this one up. And then the end and the beginning. And I'm going to go sew this up, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So now we're just going to set the seam, press it open, and oh, it matched up pretty good on that one. This one, it's a little off, but it'll still keep you warm. Well, this little piece won't, but once it's done, it will. All right. What do y'all think? Let me know. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you'll consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.